not Tehran! This is not Tehran! This is not Tehran!
Because you are doing this to your family. You are doing this to your neighbors. And you remember that you police officers took an oath under the United States Constitution to protect the people. And that the tear gas or use non-violent weapons against them. You are violating the most sacred oath you have taken. You are listening and obeying orders from tyrants who are taking their orders from the big banksters. Understand what you're doing here today will play effect throughout history. We are loving terrorist people that just want to peacefully stand in the street, and we want to thank you officers.
New world order ahead. You can see there's pretty high tension here. There's people shouting at the riot police, and we want to show you the riot police right now. We want to show you just how close we are to them. And this is, they're shouting, disobey your order. You can hear the chanting getting louder and louder and louder right now. These people don't, this one man in particular, I don't know if you can see him right now, but he looks like the ringleader almost here. He is chanting on a megaphone to police, trying to get his message across right now. I don't know if I can put the mic up closer. Let's see if we can hear, yeah.
Protect the most sacred oath that you guys have sworn to protect. Understand the orders you are taking right now are unconstitutional. Understand right now what you guys are doing here today will play effect throughout history. The Germans listened to their orders. The Germans violated their civil rights, God-given rights in Nazi Germany in the 30s.
And that's what you're hearing, Tara. We're hearing here, as we see. We don't want to give them too much publicity, because God knows everybody wants to have their voice heard. We're seeing a very interesting standoff right now here unfold in front of us.
By simply listening to unconstitutional orders and not questioning authority. We are here because we mean no harm to you. We are tired of these private Federal Reserve bankers who are running this country and destroying this country from the inside. The tyranny that they commit against you and your family as well. These banksters who got $24 trillion.
Of our money!
$24 trillion of our money!
Of your money! Of your money!
And these banksters are ruining our lives right now. And we want to stand here as Americans and stand up and say, no, I won't tolerate this anymore. But we have to face our own brothers and sisters. Why is that? Why do you guys listen and take these unconstitutional orders? Why is this happening here in America here today? This is not America anymore. This country is run by big banks and big corporations. Understand?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And the music makes them change their style.
You may have your LRAD. The LRAD was used in Iraq and Afghanistan against insurgents. You're now using these weapons against the American people. How do you feel about that? Pass that word. Bring earplugs next protest. Guys, how do you guys sleep at night knowing you guys are using weapons that you guys used in Iraq and Afghanistan against terrorists, against the American people?
By order of the City of Pittsburgh Chief Police, I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse. You must leave the immediate vicinity.
They're all bought out by the big banks. Do your job and tell them the truth. This economic crisis was engineered for a one-world government. What we are seeing here today is protesters being tear-gassed and using LRAD weapons against the American people. They are using weapons in the streets here in Pittsburgh for normal people, protesters. Do your job as a media company and inform the people of the United States of the treachery and treason that's going on here right now.
The mayor and the chief executive in Visit Pittsburgh and the Downtown Partnership begged restaurants to stay open. Many of them said, okay, we're going to close, but we'll stay open. They got stiffed. They've been empty. And every night that the G20 is on, all you hear about are the protests. Now, we heard Brian Williams open. Great opening PR shot for Pittsburgh, right? Well, here's more from the NBC Nightly News last night.
Back here in Pittsburgh, we were talking earlier in the broadcast about how, with the exception of our one protester here,
there's the protester,
have been emptied out of this city because of the crushing security for this summit. Right behind us, they actually had a baseball game today, and about 3,000 hardy souls walked past the Humvees and the automatic weapons downtown. They got searched at the turnstiles, and they actually saw the Pittsburgh Pirates lose to the Cincinnati Reds. The Pirates shut down the upper deck of the stadium for the first time in the history of the franchise. Too few people. They upgraded all the fans there today to those cushy club-level seats close to the field as a thank you for putting up with a city that's been effectively shut down.
There you go. All you had to do was watch them lose again. Now, I will tell you this. During the original broad, they do several feeds of the NBC Nightly News. That was a refeed. He does it at 6:30, Think Live. Then he does it again at 7 o'clock. At 6:30, he had his lapel mic on, and that protester just overrode him. You couldn't even hear Brian Williams. They finally gave him a handheld mic, and it worked out.
Before all the leaders arrived here, and while there are far fewer protesters than there are members of law enforcement and the military, it is a tense evening here in Pittsburgh. All the people in the downtown buildings here, big companies like Alcoa and Mellon Bank, were told not to bother coming to work today. Our own Mike Taibbi has been out in it all day long. Mike, good evening.
Good evening, Brian.
This city, Mike, thanks. And now we turn to the business of this gathering. When we talk about the global recession, that gives you some idea of the atmosphere here. And this host president of this summit, Obama of the United States, comes in here following two speeches that now change U.S. foreign policy. Our White House correspondent Savannah Guthrie is with us here in Pittsburgh, along with the protesters. Savannah, good evening.
We've got company. Well, Brian, right on the heels of the UN, world leaders are here looking for initiative from the president on the global financial crisis. And with this frantic pace, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that, as you said, in 24 hours, two big speeches changing U.S. foreign policy.
That's our broadcast for this Thursday night. Thank you for being with us. On behalf of our protester here with the Bullhorn, I'm Brian Williams reporting tonight from Pittsburgh. We hope to see you tomorrow evening back home in New York. Good night.
Yeah, dude. Woo! Bringing the gunboat on.
You big bastard rapist of America! Stop robbing our country! You guys are criminals!
Echoing. This is just crazy.
We are not your slaves! Free humanity will live on!
Should say respect the Constitution.
Respect the Constitution! Economic terrorism won't work!
No global currency, man.
No global currency! No new world order!
Oh, but there's the Coast Guard. Who cares?
No tyranny! Because the people of this country are waking up to your crimes every single day! Woo! Woo!
Yeah!
You can hide in your executive hotels. You can rule us behind the scenes, but we are not your slaves. I am happy that this is echoing. Because I know you can hear me. No new world order. You Illuminati Bilderberg trash.
Oh, yeah.
National sovereignty will